Hi, I'm Jeff Julian, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit more about call to actions and what we can do to maybe woo in an audience or build a relationship. I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe it's just give them more time to consume alternative pieces of content, to learn more about us before they give the email. So this comes from just a kind of dread of seeing a great piece of content, and the first thing I get is a gated wall, and it says, hey, give me your email address and I'll let you have this white paper. And I get it, right? It's value and it's a trade, but I don't know you at all, and I have no relationship with you. I don't understand your brand. I don't know what I'm about ready to sign up for. I haven't even got any value to give you that particular email address. All I saw was a great headline and something that was interesting to me. Now, I know people will give up the information, and I know they'll allow us in their inbox, but that's not necessarily what we want. We want an audience who actually has seen something that we do, is wanting to get kind of in, wanting to join, wanting to get more, and is excited about kind of being part of what we're building, whatever our content marketing efforts are. So when you come to a website and you see pop-ups, and we do it too. I mean, Opt-in Monster is a pretty cool tool and allows you to easily create pop-ups and gather that information. And I get it, it works. You can throw a pop-up, you can put a quiz, you can put, download a white paper, and you just give us your email address. But there's something else to maybe an alternative, another way of looking at call to action, because the more content we produce, our blogs cannot always have the exact same call to action, which is email sign up. We got to find another way in. So here's some alternatives that I think we should try. One is with our authors. I think if the author is part of our group, our organization, not necessarily a guest post or a frequent contributor, we can use LinkedIn Connects. So figure out a way to say, hey, if you enjoy this content, hook up with me on LinkedIn, join a group that we have, and then start to let that information come out. One, the great piece about that is you do get that social network connect that lets you learn more about the person, see if they're a good fit for you, see if you're a good fit for them. And then also LinkedIn still gives notifications when somebody produces an article in their network. So that's huge, right? It's like an email, but it's on another platform. And then I like to use this one, and it's the ability to have different forms of content. So just like this video you're watching now, I'll have a blog post associated with it that has a little bit more detail, long-term thought, less conversational approach to it, but it's just another piece of the exact same conversation for them to go to. And then in all these pieces, we might have a smaller call to action. It might not be the main call to action, but a smaller call to action on each one that says, hey, let's join the list. Let's give us your email and we'll get started. Some great ways to do that, and I'm learning about these, and they're so cool. The ability to text to join. So on a recent Unpodcast, he mentioned the tool Lead Digits, which is part of Lead Pages, and it's pretty expensive to get on there. I think it's like $2.99 a month to get the Lead Digits piece and the Lead Pages. But there's some alternatives too. So just search for SMS to subscribe or text to subscribe, and you'll find some other more cost-effective solutions somewhere around the $15 a month range. And that's all they do. They don't do landing pages or anything like that. So, for this podcast, I'm trying one out. And so if you want to join our email list, text content to 66866, and then you'll be asked for your email. And that's all we do. That's the only portion of SMS that we're going to use. At that point, the communication takes forward, through email. And so there's great ways to integrate that email call to action without actually having it be the most significant part of your content, without having to jump right in front of people's faces. Another form, the third one, would be content series. So think along the lines of having a long form blog post, but break it into multiple series. So maybe just a 5-part series on a particular topic that you're interested in. But there's another one that I'm really interested in trying out. And that's kind of if you were in elementary school in the 90s, and probably still today, they had this Choose Your Own Adventure series, and you would read along the page and it would say, if you want to follow this adventure, go to page 28. If you want to follow this one, go to page 32. And I love that concept because it gives you a decision to make. Which way do you want to go? And I think with content, we could do the same thing. So if we figure out a way to look at our content big picture and say, if I'm this type of person, if I'm a decision maker, if I'm an influencer, if I'm in marketing or if I'm in IT, when I'm reading this content, when I get to this point, let me add some more information about myself that we should collect. To give you insight into me, but then also to allow you to drive the content in a direction that's interesting to me. So you don't have to necessarily be extremely tech savvy to do this. It could be, in a WordPress site, it could be multiple blogs. Some are published to the feed, some are not. And then you just control the adventure through linking. And then every time you land on a page, make sure you capture as much information through your marketing automation tool or your Google Analytics about that particular user. And then just keep driving down and learn more about them, but then also provide value specific to what you learn. And then at the very end, throw that pop-up up, ask for the email. You've provided enough value at that point. You might have a relationship, or get them to subscribe another way, get them to continue along in another series of posts like this. And that's kind of the lost art of going back in your content and linking to other content that's valuable, and having that being a call to action too. And then finally, when someone shares your content, when somebody's out there, let's say you post on another site and somebody gives kudos on social media, make sure you go out and you thank them and you give them a personalized message, and don't please stop using the follow services that send the direct message. I think those are worthless. I absolutely hate the fact that my Twitter inbox is full of all these unpersonal messages that are like, hey, how can I help you? I don't want your help right now. I just followed you because you looked interesting and you followed me, or some way we got connected, but I'm not ready to jump in and have a direct conversation with you. It's cold calling at its worst. It's social selling that needs to go away. I think that if you really wanted to have a conversation with me, you'd rip that out of your marketing automation platform and you'd actually have the conversation with me. So make it a part of your week, make it a part of every other day, make it a part of your mornings to go into a tool like TweetDeck to look for searches for specific articles that you've written from title or mentions of your name. When you see them, write a personal message thanking them for the share, and then figure out a way that you can continue the relationship. If you think that your content is valuable and you want them part of your audience, guess what? Your audience is beyond just a list. It's a community. And a community you need to interact with, and you need to actually have a physical presence. And so go beyond the marketing automation and actually give thanks in social media. And so that's it. I think those are 4 ways that we can try to do more with direct calls to action. The last one might be, pulling strings a little bit, but to go beyond just the pop-up and find ways to interact with our audience and our communities and the people we want to deliver content to. And at some point, maybe we can do business together. And so I hope you enjoyed this article and this video. And so if you want to see the video or the article version of this, just go to ajsoftware.com/blog, and it'll be near the top, or you can find it relatively quickly. Anyway, thanks a lot.